Good morning, everybody. This is Dr. Susan Marra with Dr. Marra's Medical Minutes, and this is Juju. Juju is now 8 months. She's a big girl, and today we're going to talk about Lyme disease in dogs. Lyme disease in dogs is a real thing. It's much more prevalent on the East Coast than on the West Coast, but it's still here as well. And so there is a vaccine for dogs that seems to work fairly well. And so you might want to talk to your vet about getting a vaccine for Lyme disease for your dog. The one for humans, Limerex, I would not recommend that you use that at all. That was in a class action suit 20 years ago because it actually caused Lyme in people who had a certain genetic predisposition. So that's not a good alternative. So let's talk about the signs of Lyme disease in dogs. The most typical symptoms are a fever, lethargy, malaise, swollen joints, and joint pain. And it looks as if the dog is walking on eggshells. When you see that, that should be a red flag that, you should take the dog to the vet and get he or she tested for Lyme disease. If the dog comes back positive for Lyme disease, the good news is it's much, much easier to treat in dogs than it is humans. Generally, they use doxyrobe or vibramycin, which is doxycycline, or they use amoxicillin, or they use Zithromax, or some combination, depending on how severe the Lyme disease is. And generally, animals recover really, really well. They really do. It's not like humans. So obviously, when you give your dog antibiotics, you need to make sure that you give them plenty of probiotics because you don't want to disturb their gut microbiome, and you want to keep them as healthy and as comfortable as possible. And for the swelling in any joints, you might want to use glucosamine sulfate, fish oil, curcumin, although curcumin can sometimes upset a dog's stomach, but fish oil is great, and you can get great fish oil at Mud Bay. Oh, she's going to sleep, and that will help lower the inflammation in the joints. So I don't want you to be freaked out if your dog gets Lyme. It's not really that big of a deal. As long as you get to a doctor as soon as you notice it, which you'll notice because the dog limps and they look sick. And you just go to the vet, you ask them for a Lyme disease titer, and then they'll do it, and it'll probably be positive. And then they just go on antibiotics for a couple weeks. And then it goes bye-bye. Right, Judge? Yes. That's what Gigi says. Gigi says, I'm not getting Lyme disease. No, she said, my mom's not going to let me get Lyme disease. So, anyways, I wanted to shed some light on Lyme disease in dogs, and I hope this information has helped you. I hope that you and your dog stay healthy, and you can use tick repellent on your dog, and that will help when you're hiking or whatever you're doing to prevent the ticks from attaching, because you don't want, or you get a white dog. That's actually why I have a white dog, so that if we're hiking, I can see the tick and I can pull it off. Right, Juge? Yes. Yeah. So I hope this information has been helpful to you. Hope you have a wonderful day. Take care.